hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're gonna learn about electrons and chemical bonding. In English, we have more than 1,000,000 total words, about 170,000 words in current use, 20,000 to 30,000 words used by each individual person. And all of these words are formed by using the 26 letters of the alphabet. This is mind-blowing. How could millions of words form from only 26 letters? You may ask me now, what does have anything to do with chemical bonding and electrons? Well, just like how letters combine together to form words, atoms are combining to form matter. Millions of matter, including yourself. So, before I actually start talking about chemical bonding and electrons, I suggest you take a look at this video that I prepared for grade 6. This video will be a refresher and will help you understand this lesson. I will put the link down in the description. Also, want to review this part that I think is really important for you to understand this video. So, let's start reviewing grade 6. Now we know that matter are made of atoms. But have you ever asked yourself what atoms are made of? They are made of subatomic particles. The nucleus, that is the very tiny center of an atom, contains proton and neutron. The proton is a subatomic particle with a positive charge, and the neutron is a subatomic particle with no charge. So this means that the nucleus is positively charged. Outside of the nucleus, we have another subatomic particle, electron. Electron is the subatomic particle with a negative charge. In 1913, Niels Bohr proposed a model of the structure of an atom. In his model, electrons cycle the nucleus at fixed distances from it. The paths in which the electrons move are called orbits, also called energy levels. Atoms have charges, and their charges depend on the subatomic particle they contain. Remember that protons carry positive charge, neutrons carry no charge, and electrons carry a negative charge. Now, if an atom contains more proton than electron, the atom will carry the charge of the proton. It will be positive. If it contains more electron than proton, it will carry the charge of the electron. It will be negative. Now for the atom that contains the same number of proton and electrons, the positive and negative charges cancel each other and the atom will carry no charge. We call it neutral atom. Now that I remind you that matter are made of atoms and I showed you the model of atoms, which was proposed by Niels Bohr, now you're ready to start this class. So we said that letters combine together to form words, and atoms combine together to form matter. The process in which atoms join together is called chemical bonding. So what is chemical bonding? Chemical bonding is the process in which atoms join together to form substance or to form a matter. If I ask you about the process, you have to say chemical bonding with the ing. But when we say chemical bond, that's actually the bond or the interaction between the atoms. In short, chemical bonding is the process in which chemical bond is formed. Chemical bond is the bond. It's called chemical bond because it was formed chemically. Now, electrons play an important role in chemical bonding. When chemical bonds form, electrons are shared, gained, or lost. Because we cannot see atoms, they are very tiny, very small, and we cannot see the chemical bonds, so we can't say that these atoms are chemically bonded to another atom. So we need to use models and theories. Models help people discuss the theory of how and why atoms form bonds. And now we are going to learn how to do that. We have this term, atomic number. Atomic number is actually the number of proton. An atom consists of neutron, proton, and electron. As Niall Bohr proposed, the model have proton and electron and neutron, which will be positively charged if the number of protons are more than the number of electrons, and negatively charged if the number of electrons are more than protons. The atom that we're talking about here is neutral atom, which means it has no charge. And this happens in only one case, when the electron number and proton number are equal. So when we say the atomic number is, for example, 17, that means the atom contains 17 protons. But since the atom has no charge, it means that the electron number equal to the proton number. So we will have 70 electrons. I'll tell you why we need the number of electrons later, but for now, look at this picture. It showed that the electrons are organized in energy levels. As you see here, we have 3 energy levels. The first energy level is closer to the nucleus and can hold up to 2 electrons. Only 2 electrons, and we can say that this level is filled with electrons. The second level can hold up to 8 electrons. And here on the third energy level, only 7 electrons are there. So the atom has a total of 70 electrons. This outer level of atom is not full. The 7 electrons on the outermost level of this atom is called a valence electron. Now, valence electron is the electron that is found in the outermost shell of an atom, and it's very important to determine the atom's chemical properties. For example, let's look at this figure here. We have oxygen and sodium. Oxygen has 8 electrons. So how do we organize them? In the first level, we can only put 2 electrons because it only can contain 2 electrons. On the second one, we only have 6 electrons left. So we're gonna put the 6 electrons here. And as you see, the second level is the outermost level of oxygen. So the electrons are valence electrons. So an oxygen atom has 6 valence electrons. About sodium, it has 11 electrons. So the first level can only contain 2 electrons. So we will put 2 electrons here, and on the second can put 8, and only 1 electron is left. So that electron will be on the third level. And the third level is the outermost level of sodium. So that electron is valence electron. So we can say a sodium atom has 1 valence electron. This is how you find the valence electrons using a model. If you didn't have a model, you can use the periodic table to determine the number of valence electrons for atoms of some element. What is periodic table? Periodic table is a table of the chemical elements arranged in order of atomic number, usually in rows, so that elements with similar atomic structure and similar chemical properties appear in vertical column. This is how you determine the number of valence electrons using the periodic table. We need to remember and follow these rules. Atoms of element in group 1 and 2 have the same number of valence electrons as their group number. This means hydrogen, for example, is one of the group 1, so the valence electron number is 1. Sodium, which belongs to group 1, has 1 valence electron. Magnesium, which belongs to group 2, has 2 valence electrons. Atoms of elements in group 13 to 18 have 10 fewer valence electrons than their group number. However, helium atoms have only 2 valence electrons. That means oxygen, which belongs to group 16, has 6 valence electrons. Silicon, which belongs to group 14, has only 4 valence electrons. As for atoms of elements in group 3 to 12, they do not have a rule relating the number of valence electrons to the group number. Remember when I said I will tell you why we need the number of electrons later? Now it's time to tell you why we need the number of electrons. The valence electrons and the atom mass energy level of an atom determine whether an atom will form bonds. Atoms that have 8 electrons in their atom mass energy level do not usually form bonds. The atom mass energy level is considered to be full if it contains 8 electrons. So, in other words, we need the outer mass energy level to be not full so that they can form bond by sharing, gaining, or losing electron. Atoms that have fewer than 8 valence electrons is more likely to form bonds. They would bond by gaining, losing, or sharing electrons to have a filled outermost energy level, like sulfur and magnesium. An atom of sulfur has 6 valence electrons. It can have 8 valence electrons by sharing 2 electrons with or gaining 2 electrons from all the atoms, so that the outermost energy level would contain 8. An atom of magnesium has 2 valence electrons. It can have a full outer level by losing 2 electrons. The second energy level becomes the outermost energy level and contain 8 electrons. Not all atoms need a valence atom to have a full outermost energy level. Helium atoms need only 2 valence electrons because the outermost level is the first energy level, and we say that the first energy level is filled by 2 electrons. Atoms of hydrogen and lithium form bond by gaining, losing, or sharing electrons to achieve 2 electrons in the first energy level. Here is a summary of today's lesson. Chemical bonding is the joining of atoms to form new substances. A chemical bond is an interaction that holds 2 atoms together. A valence electron is an electron in the outermost energy level of an atom. Mass atoms form bonds by gaining, losing, or sharing electrons until they have 8 valence electrons. Atoms of some element need only 2 electrons to fill the outermost level. That's it for today. Don't forget to answer the question of section review and feel free to ask any question in the comment section. And have a great day. Goodbye.